Hi, my name is Daisha Edley, and I'm the writer and director of this piece, My Black is Beautiful. At the end of the process, I had participants talk about different parts of their blackness that they either felt were missing from the poem or that they wanted to elaborate a little bit more on. So I've put them together as a special bonus feature for all you viewers out there, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
I think my black is beautiful because it comes from my mom, and as I grew up I realized how important she was to me and how strong a woman she was, especially because she was black. And that's
What about her being black?
It didn't strike me until much later because she was an international student in the US and she was here obviously at a much earlier time. But when I first went back home to see her after like my first year in the US, she was like, "How are you?" And it only struck me much later that what she really meant was, "How am I?" Because I'm a black girl in the US. And I realized in that moment that she had also gone through similar situations, if not worse, and she was just looking out for me. And I also realized that she had gone through that and lived through it and survived it, and she came out on top. So, for that, she's a beautiful woman. Yeah, that's it.
Well, you said in the poem this already, but I would say that my black is diverse. I'm not really tied down to maybe like a set kind of similar family. We all have different shades, different opinions, different kind of ideals, and I feel like that comes from being specifically a West Indian and being raised in a West Indian family. So, but I do recognize my black is beautiful.
My black is not exotic, and I don't want to hear about how I'm the first black girl you've ever liked or how I'm your exception.
I would say that my blackness is personal. It's about me. It isn't about other black women or other black people, and I don't want my blackness compared to other people. It can't be used as a standard, and I don't want other people's blackness to be a standard for me. I want my blackness to be seen as an individual thing. I know that some people wear braids, some people have light skin, some people have freckles, some people have weaves, and I feel like that's a personal choice, and every person chooses what they want to look like and what their blackness means to them, and that's them. And that can't be used as a statement to encompass all black women. So I think if I had to pick one statement, I would say my black is beautiful and my black is personal. My black is Ebony, Rafis Verleza, and no one else.
Well, I remember at one point where I understood being black was to struggle. And I still like that understanding, but I guess in terms of just reflecting back on that and hearing, different interpretations as to what blackness is, kind of like what Ebony has said about the personal. So I like to think of blackness as intimate, unconditional, and love. Blackness is love. That's all I got.
Well, my mom is from Panama, and she is Afro-Latina, and it took me a long time to come to terms with my Black identity. I never quite fit in with the Latina or Latinos at my school. Most of them were Mexican or other nationalities than Panamanian, and I never quite fit in with the African American students, although most of them were my friends. And it wasn't until I really got to college and I started studying a lot more about Latin America and race in Latin America that I thought that this was something that really I had been sort of hiding from myself. And I decided that I would, call myself Black and come to terms with that identity, not because I'm pulling it out of my butt, but because it's there and I can't deny it. And I feel like everything that I learn about Blackness in this world, or what most people are taught to learn about it, is that it's bad and that you should be ashamed of it, and that you should think, you're ugly or you're less than something. You're always comparing yourself to something else. And I feel like that is a big part of why I claim that identity and why it's important for me to say, that I am Black too, regardless of if my geographical location, not my Blackness being a Latin Blackness or whatever appendage you want to add to it. I am Black fundamentally. My ancestors were Black and they suffered, and I feel like that is a part of me, and it is a part of me, and I want to embrace it and not shut it down. I think something that resonated really with me from the poem, a lot of the things resonated with me, but when we talk about hair a lot in the Black community, I feel like a little uncomfortable because, I don't know, my hair it's not quite, super kinky, but it's not like super straight either, and people always think it's so pretty, or like they don't. But I remember when I was growing up, in middle school, everybody would like straighten their hair, and that was just a thing that everybody did. My best friend, who's Nigerian, she would straighten her hair, and my Latina friends would straighten their hair too. And I remember the thing that I wanted the most out of like anything in the world was a ceramic straightener. Like, I knew that if I had that straightener, I would be like in the in crowd, and I would be beautiful, and everything would be okay. And every movie that I watched, all my favorite actresses, I was all into like Hilary Duff and Lizzie McGuire and all those 90s bands and all of that. And they all had straight hair, and I just wanted it more than anything. I just wanted to straighten my hair. And the straighteners were really expensive, so I never really could afford it. And I just remember feeling so bad about myself. And I think that just reading that part of the poem was really important to me and all of my friends, and all of the experiences they have with their hair, with their skin, with the way they speak. So that's basically why I think that my Blackness is a very big and important part of me.